Well, good afternoon. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate that. I'm Michael Ortega. I'm the city manager. I thought I would give you a couple of comments. First of all, I think there's a question about the priority that the mayor and city council place on transit. And we will have a handout for you in a bit, but it really shows the budget and the investment that this council has made over the last several years. And even when dollars were scarce from the general fund and there were reductions in basically all other departments, or most all other departments, the transit investment continued, either was held or actually increased during those years. Another point is, I think it's important to recognize the support that the city council and the mayor have towards labor. There are 4 labor agreements that have been approved. They were negotiated as a part of the budget cycle. Both sides came and hammered out, if you will, agreements. And I think, again, that shows the support that this mayor and city council have for labor. Our responsibility is to the people of Tucson. Those folks that need the bus service to get to school, to get to work, to get the doctor's appointments. And so as a result, what I've done is I have asked, suggested, told TransDev that they needed to be at the table and make sure that this strike is resolved as expeditiously as possible. I've done that at least 3 times now, as recently as this week. They have assured me that that is the case, that they are willing and able and have encouraged discussions with labor to resolve this strike quickly. The other thing that I have asked them to do is fulfill their contractual obligation and provide service. We have tens of thousands of users of the bus system that are not able to commute, and I've asked them to provide that service as best they can. But I've also been clear to them that any increases in costs or any costs that they may see because of that temporary service would not be in addition to what their budget is. You know, the transit budget is what was established by the council, and that will not be adjusted. There's been question about cost savings, and there's been numbers thrown out. I can tell you that we've analyzed that as of last Thursday. There looks like about a savings of $145,000 a week. That is the number, and that is net. That is based on the analysis. And again, those are numbers that obviously change based on the expansion of service. But as of last Thursday, we were averaging about $145,000 a week in savings. There's also been a conversation and question about monies that were turned back to the general fund in previous years. I can tell you that we have not closed out the fiscal year 15 audit or entire budget yet. It looks like we will have about $500,000 that was saved in 2015, predominantly because of fuel. The fuel cost went down, and quite frankly, if the fuel cost had not gone down, we probably would have been over budget. Those dollars were reprogrammed back into the general fund, and one of the recipients of that obviously is transit. There seems to be an understanding or at least a question about the budget process and establishing or reopening the budget discussion. I will not recommend that. The budget process, the integrity of the budget process is extremely important to maintain. It starts back in February or even earlier than that. There's discussions about priorities, not just obviously about transit, but about all other services that are provided by the city of Tucson. And that is extremely important to remember as we go through these, because there's a whole process, there's a whole discussion that goes on with the budget process. Okay, thank you very much, appreciate it.